it's me, in case you didn't recognize me with my glasses on. I hope you're having a great day. It's another beautiful day outside, and it's a beautiful day for reading on my deck. So I am going to read chapter 4 of Spring According to Humphrey, and then I have a little announcement at the end, so make sure you listen into the whole thing, okay? So chapter 4 is called The Big, Big, Big Oops. This will be a fun weekend, Humphrey, just Joey told me as he carried my cage to the car. Right, Mom? I couldn't hear very well because of the blanket, but I'm pretty sure she said yes. We drove for a while and then the car stopped. I've waited for this for a long time, Joey said. I know, his mom answered. It was just hard to find the right weekend. It's too long of a way to your dad's house. I don't think Humphrey would be comfortable in such a long drive. But your dad had to work on a special project, so you're with me this weekend for a change. Joey picked up the cage and I could feel him carry me up the sidewalk. I heard his mother put the key in the door. My whiskers wiggled and my tail twitched as I braced myself for Skipper's barks. Dogs' barks can be as painful to my ears as a whistle blast. But there was no barking. Where was Skipper? Once we were in the house, Joey uncovered my cage. This is my house, Humphrey, he said. It's just an ordinary house, I guess, nothing special. It's great, I said. My eyes darted around the room, searching for a glimpse of Skipper. Joey's mom leaned down to me. Hello, Humphrey, she said. You're just as handsome as Joey said you are. I knew right away that I liked her a lot. Show Mom how you can spin, Joey told me. I leaped onto my wheel and started running. Wow, look at him go, Joey's mom said. That's better than an hour at the gym. Joey looked around. Where's Skipper? Yes, where is Skipper? I squealed. Oh, Becca offered to take him for a walk, his mom said. Wasn't that nice? Yes, I squeaked. I know how much my classmates love their pet cats and dogs, but much of the time they aren't hamster friendly. In fact, they are usually hamster scary. So whoever Becca was, I silently thanked her. I crossed my toes and hoped it would be a very long walk. Joey leaned down close to my cage. Becca lives across the street, he said. She'll be back soon with Skipper. I can't wait for you to meet him. Eek! I didn't mean to squeak, but I couldn't help it. I have so much to show you, Joey told me. I want you to go see my room and Skipper catching a frisbee. Could we just skip the frisbee part, I asked. Unfortunately, all that Joey heard was squeak, squeak, squeak. He carried my cage to his room and gave me a tour. Here's my bed, Humphrey, he said, and my desk and my dresser, and oh, here's my closet. I appreciated the tour, but when humans carry my cage, it swings back and forth and my tummy feels a little strange. I was happy when Joey set my cage on his desk and I wasn't swaying too much. Is everything okay? Joey's mom asked from the hallway. Yep, just Joey said. Yep, I squeaked, so far. I hopped on my wheel for another good spin, which helps me relax. I sure would like to have a hamster like you for a pet, Joey said, settling on the bed. I thought it would be very nice to be Joey's pet, but he already had a pet dog. And I love my job as a classroom pet. I heard a pitter-patter-patter. And, before I knew it, a furry creature raced through the bedroom door. Hi, Skipper, Joey said. Meet Humphrey. I braced myself as he trotted toward my cage. Skipper was a medium-sized dog, white with brown spots. He looked up at the cage and wagged his tail. He raised his nose and sniffed, so I scurried to the back of my cage to get as far away from him as I possibly could. You can't be too careful. All the while, Joey talked to Skipper, explaining that I'm a hamster and I live in his classroom. Skipper wagged some more, and then he did something unexpected. He trotted out of the room. I've met a few dogs nose to nose in the past, and they were all interested in me. In fact, they wouldn't leave me alone. They had bad breath and big teeth, and they all looked as if they thought I'd make a tasty little snack. I realized for the first time that, like humans and hamsters, dogs are not all alike. Maybe this would be a fun weekend after all. The next morning when Joey woke up, his mom came into the room and asked what he wanted to do for the day. Skipper was nowhere in sight. I really want to take Humphrey to the backyard to watch Skipper catch a frisbee, Joey said. His mom shook her head. That would be fun, but it's too cold for Humphrey to go outside. That was unsqueakably nice of her because I didn't want my whiskers to freeze over. How about your homework, she asked. Signs of spring, I squeaked. Joey's mom laughed. Humphrey seems to know your assignment. I do, I answered. I write them in my notebook. We're supposed to be looking for signs of spring, Joey said. He stared out the window and sighed. I sure haven't seen any yet, except for the flower we saw in the snow. A crocus, I added, trying to be helpful. I don't think we'll find signs of spring in the house, she said. Why don't we take Skipper out for a walk and see what we can find? We could go to the nature preserve over by Potter's Pond. I think he'll be all right for an hour or two, his mom said. Right, Humphrey? Right, I answered, and I meant it because I was feeling a little sleepy and was looking forward to a nice nap. Before I knew it, they were gone and I was dozing in my sleeping hut. I'm not sure how long they were gone, but when Joey walked back into his room, I scrambled out of my sleeping hut. What did you find? I asked. Joey slumped down in a chair near my cage. No signs of spring, except a couple of blades of grass, he said. He looked discouraged, so I said, That's a great beginning. I just wish he could understand me. I'll bet this is the latest spring in the history of the planet, he said, and this planet is pretty old. Maybe, I squeaked. Joey stared at me for a few seconds. Humphrey, I really want you to see Skipper catch a frisbee, but Mom won't let me take you outside, and she won't let me throw it inside. It would have been nice to see the trick, but I didn't want to go outside in the cold, and I wasn't too sure about discs flying all over the room. Suddenly, Joey sat up. Hey, I could put your cage on the windowsill. I could take Skipper outside this window, and you can watch. It was such an unsqueakably great plan. I wished I'd thought of it. Soon my cage was right next to the window, about a foot above the bed. It wasn't long before Joey raced into the yard and waved his frisbee at me. It was a flat red circle with tooth marks around the edge. Skipper was right behind Joey, looking like he was ready to play. Joey looked at me, then raised the frisbee and let it fly. It soared up, and as it started to come down, Skipper leaped way off the ground and caught it in his mouth. Bravo, I squeaked, clapping my front paws together. Joey looked toward the window and put his thumbs up. I knew that meant something good. I could tell he was getting ready to throw the frisbee again, but I was frustrated because the bars on my cage, which give me good protection, blocked my view a bit. Quickly, I jiggled the lock that doesn't lock and scrambled up the outside of my cage to the very top. Ah, what a nice view. Joey raised his arm and tossed the frisbee. It went even higher this time, and as it started to come down, Skipper jumped way up in the air and caught it perfectly. Way to go, I cheered, jumping up and down on top of my cage. Uh-oh, the cage was wobbling. I don't weigh much at all, but I guess all my jumping nudged the cage towards the edge of the windowsill. All of a sudden, it started tipping over. I flew off the cage and rolled a bit. I came to a stop close, but not too close, to the edge. I am unsqueakably lucky that beds are nice and soft. My heart was pounding, but once I caught my breath, I looked over and saw a disaster. My bedding and food were scattered across the bedspread. Luckily, my water bottle hadn't leaked and my notebook was still firmly tucked behind the mirror. Oops. I leaped to my feet and tried to push the cage upright, but it was no use. I was in trouble, and so was Joey. Big trouble. And our Humphrey spring things say, Eek, this was an awful thing. So far, I wasn't loving spring. So everybody, that was chapter 4. We're going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to come back and have my next reading on Tuesday because we have a holiday break upcoming days. So I want you to have a great weekend, and a nice holiday. But I also have a little challenge for you. What I'd like you to do is when you're outside this weekend over the Easter break, what I would like you to do is find as many signs of spring as you possibly can. And then if you've been watching me on the links that have been coming by email, that's great. But if you've been watching me on Facebook, on our G Blues Facebook page, I want you to take a picture of your sign of spring and put it on the G Blues page. Maybe I'll just have a section where you can post your pictures, but try to do that between now and Tuesday, and then I will be back bright and early on Tuesday morning reading chapter 5 of our book. So everybody have a great holiday, and I can't wait to see you again. We'll read more Humphrey, we'll announce more April birthdays, and we can see how many of us can find signs of spring. See you, everybody.